it's impossible. It's impossible to enjoy the beauty of the blessings surrounding you if you know. If you know exactly what's going to happen. I once heard the phrase, life is worth the mystery. I figure it's because in the blink of an eye, life's unpredictability can threaten our entire existence. I think it's funny how people think the most important questions have the most complex answers, when it's oftentimes the exact opposite. I also think it's funny how it's so easy for us to adopt a notion created by people just as flawed and mortal as we are. I also realize that people learn different things throughout their lives and their own experiences and can teach you things you never would have been able to learn on your own. I've learned that my story is not over. I've learned that as many times as I believed I had control over when it ended, that I didn't. Stories like to tell us that endings come so much earlier than they actually do. In books and movies, the story ends. But in life, the story starts and then starts again. I like to think of our lives not as just one never-ending story, but stories that blend together to create the perfect picture of our life. But whether life is a series of stories or an existence of constant mysteries or just one story that ends and never starts again, we have one purpose: to serve our God like He served us. Oftentimes, this world's idea of life is so beautiful, it seems as if it's much more important than it is. But I've come to realize that we can't afford to be distracted, because every day we spend lost is another day not promised and then wasted. I love memories. I get lost in them all the time. I daydream memories in my mind, blending together, making the perfect video of my life. Of something I barely had a grasp on just 2 months ago. I believe in time I will understand, but if I'm wasting that time, I never will. I've learned a lot from things that I never thought I would ever experience. I didn't know I needed to translate for a deaf lady in a psych hospital. I didn't know I needed a laundry room conversation with someone who could hear all the red flags. I didn't know I needed God to be shown to me so many times to realize that I wasn't seeing Him. That was my mystery. And with hard work and dedication to the one I know will always be there for me, I will solve these many mysteries of life, end many stories, begin many, and create many memories that will only be magical when they happen and gone in the blink of an eye. I love you, God, and I see you. I see you. And I love everyone that God has so kindly introduced me to. All of you are so special to me. All of these videos are just sneak peeks of the magic that really happened when I met you guys. The story of my first year in college can never be put into the perfect soliloquy of words that will just make sense to describe this entire experience. You guys are something so special. Harding is something so special. Life is something so special. And what makes it even more special are the people I get to share it with.
It's week 3, okay?
Yes, and I'm already stressed!
Over a boy!